Welcome back to Question Period. So, is he running or isn't he? Reality television star and businessman Kevin O'Leary has yet to formally declare that he's running for the Conservative leadership, and he certainly won't do it before the French language leadership debate that takes place this Tuesday. But all signs point to an O'Leary campaign. What does this reality TV star really stand for, and how would he deal with another former reality television star, Donald Trump? Let's find out. Joining me now, Kevin O'Leary. Good morning, Kevin. Welcome to Question Period. Well, your exploratory committee says you should run. You and I have spoken over the last number of months. Look, it's fair to say you're about to jump in, aren't you? You're ready.
Very close, Evan. I mean, I'm most impressed. First of all, I've got to thank the committee. Those are some pretty prestigious conservatives, Mike Harris, Mike Coates, Marjorie Le Breton. But it's the 35,000 Canadians that contacted me directly that has really motivated me. I mean, you want to do you do this to find out what your probability of success is. And I'm extremely excited and motivated after hearing from Canadians. They're not happy, Evan. They're just not happy.
You said in a statement earlier this week that you are committed to learning French. You used to tell me that you don't need to learn French. The only language people need to speak is money. You've changed on that. Why?
Well, there are 3 official languages in Canada right now. Number 1 is, and they're all 3 of them are important, but number 1 is the language of jobs, also English and French. I'm sure that by the time I have to debate Trudeau 2 years from now, I'll be proficient in French, but he'll never learn the language of jobs. He'll be illiterate at any time ahead because he doesn't know how to speak that language. So I'm confident I can get better in French, no question about it. I want to learn it. I've committed to do it. People say I can't speak French. C'est pas vrai, mon français de mieux chaque jour. So I'm working on it. I'm getting my chops back.
Okay, that's interesting because I just would say on the Trudeau side, almost 80,000 permanent new jobs were just created. And on the French side, it sounds like you've been taking French lessons. Is that true?
That's true. By the way, those jobs he's talking about don't even put a dent in the loss that we've had over the last year.
All right, let's get, you said every statement you've made over the last number of years is going to come back and people are going to put it to you. So let's talk about some things you and I have talked about. One, you said the solution to the Senate is not Senate reform, is to let people buy Senate seats. Anyone should be able to buy a Senate seat for a couple $100,000. The taxpayer doesn't pay for it. Rich people, whoever they want, corporate sponsors. Do you really believe that's your Senate reform plan?
That's not exactly what I said. You still have to be accredited. But I would love the fact that if you're going to be a senator, you commit financially to it because it's a role of honor. There's no question about it. It's an important institution within Canada. But I don't know why we can't have at least $100,000 or $200,000 a year committed to each senator. Instead of it being a cost center to Canada, why can't it be a profit center? It's an interesting idea. I'm happy to float it. I'm full of good ideas, Evan.
Well, you and I both know some of your candidates are saying you're full of something else, and that's why they say stop Kevin O'Leary. And on that very issue, they talk about campaign finance reform. Justin Trudeau's in a lot of hot water about campaign fundraising. You know it. But Kevin O'Leary, you've said you would get rid of campaign finance rules and let people contribute as much as possible. Do you still believe that?
I'm very frustrated. I don't know why I, as a successful entrepreneur, can't pay for my own campaign. I don't understand that. That seems unfair. Why should I burden other people when I can afford to do the whole thing myself? I'm frustrated about it. I'm not happy with these rules. I just want transparency. If I told you I wanted to commit $2 million of my own dollars and told the government I was doing that and was totally transparent about it, what's wrong with that? I feel bad for all the candidates that have to run around and collect $1,500 at a time. I'm going to have to do the same thing, but I think it's unfair. Why not let me spend my own money? I don't see what's wrong with that as long as I'm transparent about it.
What if a company wants to donate $1 million to a campaign? Do you think that's okay?
As long as you're disclosing it. I'm not sure as a candidate you'd want one party or one company to give you that kind of money. It smacks, that you're going to have some commitment or an obligation. I wouldn't do that.
Donald Trump's coming in and he's already promising that he will put a punitive border tax on companies that move outside the U.S. and then try to export back into the U.S. That could have a huge impact on Canada. What do you say, if you were the leader, to Donald Trump if he wants to slap that kind of border tax on?
Look, we're going to need a really strong leader to deal with Trump. He's being very protective about jobs and the U.S. economy. And we've gone completely the other direction. We've made our economy very uncompetitive. We've raised taxes, layered on more regulations, made it very hard to start small businesses. We're going in the wrong direction. And on top of that, Trudeau is a weak leader. He's going to get slaughtered in negotiations with Trump. I'd rather have somebody else there, frankly, because I think it's going to end badly. It really is Godzilla versus Bambi.
Yeah,
it's a nasty-looking picture.
You've been quoted as saying, over the next 5 years, all hail King Trump is what I say. How do you come off as a strong negotiator if you're already saying hail King Trump?
Listen, what I meant to say there and what I am saying every day is I am pro turning an economy into a place where capital is attracted to it. You know, the reason Trump has moved the market 20% in some sectors is because he is very pro-business. He is pro the economy. He is pro-capital. He is pro-reducing taxes. All the same platforms I agree with.
The question is, when will you run? Are you looking at a series of by-elections? I think there's 6 by-elections coming up. Are you looking at a particular riding? Will you run in a by-election?
I don't need to run in a by-election. The key is we're talking about leadership of the Conservative Party. The members will make a decision on May 27th.
Okay, so you don't think you're not going to run in a by-election?
No, it's unnecessary. The leadership. Listen, let's say I was lucky enough to become the leader of the Conservative Party. What I'm going to be doing is taking my message across the country for the next 15, 18 months and making sure that they hear what I have to say, because I have to expand the size of the Conservative Party. I have to win back all the 18 to 35-year-olds that Trudeau lied to. They've got to come back.
Okay.
We've got to expand the brand of the Conservative Party. No question about that.
But people might say...
I don't need to do that sitting in Ottawa.
Well, some people might say you should be a representative. Last question for you. If you do run, will you divest yourself from all your businesses?
You can be a politician and you can have a seat and you don't have to divest yourself of all your businesses. That's a decision you have to make when you become Prime Minister, and that's a few years off. I'm going to tell you something right now, Evan. If I don't deliver a majority mandate to the Conservative Party in 2019, they should fire me, okay? When I do something, I do it to win. Trudeau, I'm coming to get you and Morneau because you're destroying Canada. Hear me now.
Sounds like you're running, Kevin. It's just a matter of time. All right, Kevin O'Leary, thanks for joining us this morning.
Take care. Bye-bye.